and gentlemen. Welcome to the 7-Figure Fashion Business Podcast,
where we talk about the fashion industry and how to get your fashion business to 7 figures.
From manufacturing strategies, cut and sew designers, to fashion hot topics and the latest fashion trends, I'm your host, Monica Monique.
And I'm your host, XYZeee. And let's jump into today's episode.
Hello.
Hi, guys.
How are you?
How am I?
Oh, my God.
I'm good.
Okay. That pause was, how am I?
No, I was thinking, because when somebody asks you, how are you? You say good.
Yeah.
But
on a scale of 1 to 10, how are you feeling?
Right now?
Mm-hmm.
Or just in general in the world? I don't know how I feel. I cannot answer that.
Really?
Yeah. On a scale of 1 to 10, how are you feeling?
Overall with life, I think probably 8. I wanted to say 7, but I feel like everybody says 7, so I'm going to say 8.
Okay. How are you feeling as a fashion designer?
Like my company or just like fashion design in general? 8.
8.
Yeah. Above average.
How do I feel as a fashion designer?
Yeah.
How do I feel as a fashion designer? I feel like probably mentally as a fashion, mentally as a fashion designer, I feel like a 10.
Okay.
Because I think like my mindset is like, okay, cool, like I'm getting it now.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm ready. Like before, if you asked me years ago, like I wasn't ready.
Okay.
But now I'm ready and I'm kind of like starting to get what I prayed for. Like I see it's about to start working out.
Yeah.
Physically, as a fashion designer, 1. I feel a 1.
What do you mean physically as a fashion designer?
Like in the real world, like what's happening in my fashion career, like what am I doing as a fashion designer? 1.
Oh, really?
But mentally, what I know is about to come. Like I believe.
Yeah.
So a 10.
Okay. A 1 and a 10. Okay. I mean, I feel good. I feel like, I have my footing. I know where I'm going. I'm trying to inch towards it. But I'm also like not hard on myself. You're probably like really hard on yourself.
Yeah, I am.
I'm like, girl, you woke up. You doing great.
Yeah.
Like you woke up today, you're doing excellent. You're breathing fine.
Yeah.
All right. You got your steps in. You still have a positive outlook. You're doing great. You know?
That's why I said it's a 10 because usually I'm hurting myself.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm growing and I'm less hard on myself now. Not completely hard on myself, but now I believe.
Yeah.
Before I didn't believe. Like I was scared of success.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of being scared of failing.
Yeah.
I'm scared of success.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I can see that.
On my YouTube, on my personal YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
One thing I ask or say on every episode is an inspirational quote.
Okay.
So when I was just on family vacation, I went around and I asked everybody like, what's your inspirational quote for the YouTube?
Mm-hmm.
So what's your inspirational quote for
You're
fashion?
asking me?
For fashion designers?
You're just asking me out of the blue. How am I supposed to have a quote ready?
Not a quote, but like, what's your message? What's an inspirational message to fashion designers? Because that's our viewers, like young fashion designers.
I feel like my inspirational message is always like, picture a plain box, right? Like a plain white box. Your job as a fashion designer, as a creative, is to turn that white box into something magical. Now, you could cut it up into triangles, circles, squares, extra pieces. You could strip it into different things. You could get as creative as you can with this white box. Add different colors, add different strips, do whatever you want, but take that white box and do that. The thing you can't do is just make that white box a pink box or a blue box or a black box. And I feel like that's what a lot of designers do. They look at, I'm gonna design a pair of pants and it's just a basic pair of pants. I'm gonna design a pencil skirt. It's just a basic pencil skirt. Like, use all of your creative powers to add, take away, multiply, do something different with this white box. And just really explore your creativity. Don't just make a pair of pants that it's a pair of pants. Don't just make a slim dress just a tight dress. Think outside of the box and really like create it as much as you can.
That's kind of like my design process. Like when I'm designing something, I go for like the base, like the basic thing. Like I look at the fabric and I be like, okay, cool. What basic thing do I want to do with this fabric? And then afterwards, I'd be like, how can I make it different?
Right.
Add a zipper, add a button, do whatever, like cut it up, like. So that's cool to hear that.
Yeah.
My inspirational quote. Okay, so I used to be, well, I still am.
What?
I used to be like a huge OMG girl fan.
Okay. I don't know who that is.
Okay. Anyways, OMG Girls was like our girl group in our generation.
Okay.
And they mean a lot to a lot of people.
Okay.
But they got a lot of negative feedback, negative reviews, and I think that they was focusing so much on that and that tore the group up.
Okay.
So they put out a snippet of this song called Loverboy.
Recently?
No, 10 years ago.
Okay.
So 10 years today, 10 years now,
right?
They dropped the whole song.
Okay.
So I watched their YouTube of them in the studio recording the song over. And it was just inspirational because the song is a great song. And then like even down to their unreleased music, they have a lot of good unreleased music.
Yeah.
So I think if they would have focused on the positive, like before, and stop focusing so much on the negative back then,
right,
they would have realized that was an amazing group. That was a good group. And in the YouTube video, them playing the sound bag, they was in the recording studio singing it, and they was hugging. Like they had the producers from 10 years ago there, so they hugging like, and they just so happy.
So 10 years ago they recorded this YouTube video, or they recorded it recently?
No, right, that was recently.
Okay,
recently they put up a behind the scenes of re-recording Loverboy.
Okay, so the group is now back together.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not fully back together. They still doing their individual thing, but they're still going to be a group and release music as a group.
Okay.
But 10 years ago, they dropped a snippet on social media, and everybody went crazy. Like, when are we getting it? And we never got it because they was fighting so much.
Oh, okay.
But I think that was them focusing on the negative, like them being younger. People was just tearing them apart.
Right.
But they had, I don't think they realized how big their fan base is. So now we all older, and we on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, talking about how much we love the OMG Girls. Loved the OMG Girls, and we still do. And when they dropped the song, everybody was posting it. Like, people you wouldn't even think listen to the OMG Girls. Right. They got so much good feedback. Okay. So what I learned from that was don't focus on the negative.
Right.
Focus on the people that love you.
Don't be so close, because this one up.
Focus on the people that love you. That kind of happened in my story.
Right.
When I first started. I got so much good feedback, but at the same time, I got so much bad feedback. And then when I stopped, a lot of people was like, so anymore, like, you great.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, snaps. So don't give up.
For sure, don't give up.
You're going to get negativity, but don't give up.
Yeah, I think my message for that is like, remember how like, so recently you said like, oh, does anybody ever talk to you about the podcast? Because people walk up to me and they say, oh, how much they love the podcast. And I'm like, yeah, no one. Like, but it doesn't affect me. Like, I feel positively about the podcast.
Right.
So like, I may have told like a couple people, or oh, listen to the podcast. Oh, I have a podcast, whatever, and I post about it and stuff. But no one has given me negative or positive feedback. No one has given me any feedback. Nobody has said anything, because probably nobody. That's interesting, but like I think nobody. Right.
Crazy.
But nobody ever said anything to me ever. And I think because they don't listen or they don't pay attention to me or what I do, which is fine, because I feel like you need to start your brand with supporters that are outside of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
But same thing when I started fashion design. Nobody said, "Oh my God, Monica, you're such a great fashion designer." And nobody said, "Oh my God, Monica, you're such a horrible fashion designer." Like, I didn't get positive or negative feedback. Nobody said anything. Nobody paid attention. And then, like, when the outside world started saying, like, "Oh, wow, you're a really good fashion designer," I feel like I still don't pay attention to that. Like, I am my own biggest supporter.
Right.
I am my own hype man, cheerleader, all those things. So I think that, like, I push forward for myself.
Right. To be honest, you got to block out the noise, whether it's good or bad.
Yeah. I think I'm really good at
focus on,
blocking
like,
out the noise, but I also think a part of it is because there is no noise. Like, I do it because I know there are people out there who want this, and I don't think those people are necessarily like the people that I know. So I don't think I paid attention, like, either way. As a designer, well, wait, do you want to get into the main topic?
As a designer,
so
we have red flags. Some have red flags.
Yeah, some designers have red flags, and I think, like, designers should look out for this. Like, if this is you, you're not doing well.
And then customers. If you're a customer and you want to get something custom made from a designer, here are some red flags not to order with them.
Right, because we did an episode on customer red flags, but we definitely have some designer red flags.
Designer red flags, yeah. What should a designer process look like from a customer's point of view?
For custom and for website, I think there should be a step-by-step process. When you go to somebody's website, you click the order now. You look at the shipping. Okay, this says it ships in 5 to 7 days. You expect to get the item you got in 5 to 7 days in the color you ordered and the size you ordered. If you see in the comment section that people get the wrong color, people get the wrong size, people don't get the item in the time frame, or they don't get the item at all, that's a red flag.
So go to their Instagram.
Not just their Instagram. There might be reviews. There might be Google reviews. There might be
read reviews.
Read some type of reviews, but, like, yes, order from them. It's good to support small businesses, large businesses, or whatever. But I think it's a red flag when you order from them, even just the first time, and it's a different color. It's a different size. It's taking 3 weeks instead of 1 week. I think that's a red flag that they're not doing business professionally, and that they need, like, to adjust.
Yeah.
As a custom designer, I think a red flag for your process, what it looks like, is if you don't have a process.
Yeah.
If you're just winging it.
Yeah. You need a consultation and contract. That is one of the first steps. For
custom orders, for custom designers. Yeah. If you're a customer and your designer is like, "Oh yeah, I'll make your birthday dress," and then you don't even know what the dress is, what the color is, like what the... I know there's designers that's like, "I'm just gonna make what inspires me." With whose money? You have to be clear on what the customer is getting, because you as a customer, if you show up and they made you this bright red tutu dress, but you told them you wanted a red sexy dress, but there was no consultation or anything about what it would look like.
Yeah, it's a process, because that's a red flag, because it's a process when you are inspired or when you are designing. Like, it's not just like the first time you design something is going to be all put together. Like the first time you design something, you're going to run into dilemmas.
Right.
And if they saying like, there's no process, and he like, I got you.
Yeah. Oh my God. If your designer just says, "Oh, don't worry, I got you." You got what? What are we talking about?
Because a real designer know that
you got to put in an order for a specific thing.
Yeah.
A specific thing. Another designer red flag is if you come in for a fitting and it's not put together at all yet. Like, it's literally a piece of fabric for the front and back and they just pin it on you to see your size. Oh my God. Before that, red flag if they never take your measurements.
Yeah.
For custom.
Yeah.
I had a girl who was my intern at one point and she had went off to explore her own business. And I asked her, she came back to ask me a question about how to do a certain thing. And I was like, yeah, well, where's their measurements? And she was like, oh, I don't take measurements.
She just assumed what the person looked like?
Yeah, like she just go off of like vision. And I was like, and do you mess up a lot that way? She was like, yeah, but then I fixed it.
You gotta learn from your mistakes. As a designer, you have to learn from like your mistakes.
What are you doing? What? Or if they don't write down the measurements, like sometimes they just take them for fun, but then don't write them down. Like a waitress, like they don't really know what you ordered. But waitresses are fine because you usually get what you order because they used to do that. But I'm not. If I don't write down the measurements, I'm not going to remember that.
Measurements are important.
Super important. And then you go by them when you make the stuff. So yeah, that's a red flag. If they don't take any measurements, leave.
Another designer red flag is, for me, the designers that's always complaining on Instagram. Some designers be like, y'all dumb. Like, y'all don't know how to read the website. Like, y'all dumb.
Yeah. I feel like that's the same, like, when they talk about hairdressers and nail techs and stuff. Yeah. I think designers kind of fall in that category.
Nail techs too much for some reason. It's really just hairstylers. Yeah. Hairstylists.
Yeah, I think that attitude of why don't y'all read or like it's written down or whatever, even if it is clearly it is, still
you have to, instead of complaining about it, you have to be like, okay, so my website isn't working out. What can I do to help people read my website?
Or like when people ask you a question that's on your website, just say, actually, that's in the frequently asked questions part of my website. Take a minute to kind of look through, read through, make sure everything on there is okay with you, and then come back and ask me your question. Because usually their question will be answered in that. But it's fine to just reiterate to them, I know you have a couple questions, but most of these questions are actually answered on my website. I don't want to have to go back and forth for a couple of things that might already be written out clear for you, and then I mess up what I'm saying possibly. So if you just go to the website, look at the frequently asked question part and the terms and conditions. If you have any more questions following up to that, come back and ask me what you need to ask me. But just say it in a nice, kind way. If you're always acting annoyed or disrupted by your customers having questions, then that's going to make them not want to work with you. I feel like that's a red flag that the person is going to be a little agitated, even just to work on your order.
I think another red flag is, I don't know what red flag I'm trying to say this is, but one time I was in a fabric store and a designer walked in and he was buying the fabric. It was a wedding dress that he was replicating. And it was one of those wedding dresses from like those big fashion brands, that everybody sends, and it'd be like a $10,000 dress and people would be trying to
make it for 100 or 1,000, right?
But he came back. I mean, he said that he had 1 week to make this dress, and the employee at the fabric store was like,
right,
you're not going to have time
to
make that detailed dress. So I think a red flag is like when the time management isn't like, or like the idea, the process isn't ideal, right? Like you need time to make like such a detailed dress. So I don't know, rushing orders or rushing orders or waiting last minute to start on an order is for sure a red flag. If you have not had any fittings and your event is the following week, that's a red flag. If the designer keeps postponing your fittings, that's a red flag that they haven't even started on it. There are a lot of people who procrastinate
even I procrastinate fitting sometimes, but literally that'll be 2 months ahead of time or 3 months. Like, let's say if I know your event is May 1st and was February 1st, I might push your fitting to February 7th, but I'm not going to push it to April 15th or keep pushing it until it's close to the day. That's a red flag for sure. If they keep postponing your fittings or you have no fittings at all, your dress is not being worked on, or your garment, period.
But designers in the beginning all make the same mistakes with the time management thing.
Red flag. Don't go to the designer in the beginning of their beginning of their design career. If they're just starting and it's an important event, don't go to them. But if it's just like a
not so important,
night out, not so important, and you want to support and you want to help them, 100% go with them and help them.
But your big event, go to the designer with years and years of experience.
Yeah. And if you're trying to save money and go with somebody small so that you can get the price you want, that might be a big mistake.
Yeah.
In the end. I literally have said no to people trying to rush order me. Oh, my wedding is in 2 weeks. Can you please?
Yeah. Oh, that's the thing. Stay away from the designers that's just, well, how would you know? Like, stay away from the designers that's like yes men. Or like pushovers and
a pushover.
Or they like overachiever. I just want to make sure like your day is special. Like, I'll be there. Like, or they like a superhero because they're overwhelming themselves. Like, mentally, you really cannot. It's a like fashion design is a serious mental. I don't know. You have the right mental.
Yeah.
Like you have to. I don't know. Be serious.
Yeah.
And if they just trying to be a superhero and save your day, they believe your sob story, and you are not going to get what you want. Like,
it's just not enough time in the world. And if they try to like overachieve, but some customers don't even know that this stuff isn't possible in 2 days. Yeah, which is odd.
Yeah, people think you make something in 6 seconds.
It's crazy.
They think we're magicians.
They really do. And you gonna F around and find out. Because it's going to come out looking crazy and you're going to be so upset and you're going to want to beat her up and show up with your cousins. But really, you only gave her 1 week to do something that takes 6 months to make.
Yeah.
That's on you. And her for saying yes, or them,
yes,
they,
yes,
he,
man.
she,
You cannot,
whatever.
You have to say
because,
no.
Yeah, you have to. Designers, you have
any
to say
artist.
no.
Any artist.
Any artist.
Everybody want to work with Beyonce. But Beyonce says no.
Right. What's another designer red flag?
Time management, consultation.
Yeah. If they don't have consultations at all, and it's a custom, it's an expensive custom gown, I probably wouldn't go with them. If there's no consultation about, like, all right, so let's just say I want a custom made wedding gown, and it's automatically like, okay, put the deposit down without having a consultation to even see if you can make what exactly I'm trying to visualize or whatever. I wouldn't go with them. I think consultations are so important now.
Super. Yeah. Contracts. Explaining details to the customer is so important. And saying no, like when you see the customer is not cooperating with your policies, you have to refuse the service.
Oh my God, yes.
But
that's a tip for designers. If your customer is not respecting your policies, you have to cancel the order.
Yeah, but in like the business world, you know, it's like somebody walking to, or say somebody walking to your restaurant, you be like, I think they're gonna like, you judging them from what they look like is wrong. So you got to take their service. Like, you can't refuse somebody's service,
right?
Like in certain businesses. Okay. But in the fashion world, you have to refuse. So a red flag is when they're too accessible.
What do you mean?
when the fashion designer is too easy to work with?
Meaning like you're their only customer?
No.
What do you mean then?
Like if they're not hard to book, like it was easy. It wasn't a hassle.
I think it's good to be easy to book.
Like it wasn't a hassle for like.
Why should it be hard?
What am I
think
trying
it should
to say?
be easy to book.
No, I don't think you should be easy to book.
Book a consultation.
I think you gotta be untouchable as a designer.
Mm-mm.
As a designer, if you get stuff manufactured, then for sure,
yeah,
you want those designs to be easy.
Mm-hmm.
But like, for example, it's a hairstylist. His name is Arrogante,
mm-hmm.
and it is so hard to book him. That's how talented he is. But yeah.
What do you mean by hard to book with them? Like their booking button doesn't work? I don't understand.
He just got $500,000 for somebody to do their hair.
Okay, and I don't understand.
For him to do somebody's hair.
But what does that have to do with being hard to book? Like, does his website not work? Does he not have a website? Do you have to be referred by a friend?
He had to take his website down because the demand was too high.
That's fine for him. I just still don't think designers should be hard to book.
I think you should be hard to book as a designer.
I think you should be untouchable. Easy to book, which is how you make money.
I think you should be untouchable.
Then your bank will be untouched.
No, raise your price.
You can't raise your price and be hard to book.
Yes.
I don't understand the word hard. Like the website don't work? What makes it hard for somebody? Or you just mean like, yeah, I just don't. I think you should be easy to book. I think what you're saying is in like maybe their schedule should be full. Is that what you're saying?
Mm-mm. What was we talking about before I said that? Whatever. Okay. Next red flag.
Next red flag. Because I don't agree with that one. What is a red flag? For regular designers, I think it's a red flag if they don't have a website at all.
Okay.
Like you can only
You think that's a red flag?
Yeah, if you can only order via DM or text, that's a red flag.
Okay, no, yeah. But
yeah or yes?
No, yeah.
Absolutely not.
I'm saying no, but yeah. That part. I'm about to explain it.
Yes, English, please.
No. Because the like top designers that I do follow, you can only book with them through email.
Dumb.
And some designers you can't even book with them through email. They have no contact at all. But these are the big designers.
What big design is Louis Vuitton?
No. Like so a custom designer.
Okay.
They're invisible. Hard to book. But if it's like text to DM or like, so a lot of designers that you run into, they don't have a website. A lot of designers take their website down, and they'll have like, to place your order you have to email me. Mm-hmm. But you see them constantly having customers. Not having a website really isn't a red flag, but I think booking, because I don't think via DM and booking text, yeah, I think that's a red flag. But some people have a website and on their website is not a booking website; it's really just their catalog.
I just think that makes it very difficult for a customer.
That's the point.
To know what.
That's the point.
You do. That doesn't make any sense, because do you want a sale or not? If you make it too difficult for you to get a sale, you're not getting a sale. I think that don't make sense. That sounds like a red flag to me. Unless you're Beyonce and you have people that are going to harass the designer to go through that process. I was just about to say that. It doesn't make sense. I'm talking about for the average customer. We're talking about red flags.
Average customer.
For the average customer. Yeah.
Okay. Earlier when I said like if they too accessible, I was thinking like the big.
No, those people ain't listening to our podcast.
You never know.
All right, well,
you never know.
Yeah. Another
So the
red flag.
website, I disagree because I think that's the goal to not have a website.
Does Louis Vuitton have a website?
But that's their manufactured things. That's not custom.
Even for a custom, I just feel like you're missing out on money and customers. You either want your
How
bank
hard
account.
is it to get a custom design from Louis? You have to.
We ain't Louis, and
what would you have
average
to? What would you have to
customer.
go through to get a custom design for Louis Vuitton?
We're talking about the average customer. This episode is not for Beyonce stylists.
Do you know who Beyonce stylist is?
KJ Moody right now.
Custom?
Yeah.
Okay.
Organizing
Can you book him?
Organizing the stuff for her
Can you
tour
book
right
him?
now. As a stylist? I'm talking about a fashion designer.
I'm talking about.
He's not a fashion designer, no.
That's what I was asking.
Oh, no.
Do you know who her?
He connects her
Through, okay.
with big designers to get her custom looks.
Yeah.
So that's
Can you
his
book
job.
them?
Book who?
The custom
The styler?
designers. The custom designers. Can you book them?
I don't know
Can
who
you
the
go on their
custom
website and book them?
stylist custom designer is.
Exactly.
But what I'm saying is, like, she just posted or he just posted, custom Tom Ford look on Beyonce. Like, he arranged, possibly, I'm not 100% sure, but let's just say he, the stylist, arranged with Tom Ford for Beyonce to have this custom look on her tour.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
How hard is it to book
With Tom Ford?
a custom look with Tom Ford?
I'm talking about the average customer.
I know. I
again.
just was trying to prove my point.
Like, what?
But I was saying, like, as a designer, like, nothing. When we get there, not having a website is...
But look at Laquan Smith. He has a website and he does custom for people as well. You either want money or you don't. That's all I'm saying. Your website needs to work.
Which
Period.
is... Right.
Or you need to have a clear way of how people can buy from you.
Right. I think this is about to be interesting because we're about to chase the same dream, but just in two different ways. Like, I don't want to...
You don't want customers to have... You don't want to have a new website.
When I start designing again, when I start taking custom orders, I really do not want something. It's really something like me. That's why I said I'm on 10, because now I believe and I got my vision.
Mm-hmm.
And I know what I want. So
I really feel like, yeah.
interesting.
I feel like
Seeing
it'll
our
be
process.
real interesting, real interesting. Because I just believe that, like, if you need to have your customers need to understand how they can do business with you. If you make it complicated, then they're out. They're going to go to somebody that's simple.
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay, I go to the website, I see the gown I want, I buy it.
Mm-hmm.
Versus I go to this girl's website, it says email me. She never responds to the email.
Mm-hmm.
The sale is over.
Mm-hmm.
Now I have her money and you don't.
Mm-hmm. Remember I said somebody asked me if I can make their birthday dress, and they sent me another designer to design, and I was like, "You're crazy."
Yeah,
that designer is no way to book this designer. But if you go to their tag photos,
there's a lot of tag photos.
They are selling dresses.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. It's kind of like a secret. It's a secret to book these people.
Okay, it might be a secret on how much money they making too. Like a secret to them on how much money they missed out on.
I think that's like in the beginning of a designer's career, your first design that's just trending. I think you just get overbooked and you can't do it. So you take your website off because there's too many people in the world for one person.
Just push that it's sold out. You don't have to take your website down. Just put that the item is sold out. And put that it's not sold out when you have time to make it again. Because why would you take down your whole website? Just put that there's no more available to buy, so we can say sold out. And when there is more available, or you have time to make more, or you feel like making more, put more inventory on your website. But something you brought up, as far as like the designer making money or not making money, or maybe I brought it up, but I think this is another red flag. Designers who go on the internet and talk about how they don't have any money to do certain things, or like they're not begging or asking for money or donations to keep their business alive, I think that's a red flag as a customer. I don't know if customers feel like, oh, they need money, so let me order from them, versus, oh, they need money, so maybe they're not good at business. I think it just makes you look like you're bad at business.
Yeah, that looks bad.
Yeah, I think that's a red flag.
What about, how do you feel about designers and you go to their page and it's their regular page and it's not their business page?
I personally don't like it, but I think some people do.
It's not just a designer thing. That's a hairstylist thing. That's a lot of people do that with their business.
Yeah, I don't like it personally, but other people think it's fine. They like to see what their hairstylist's life is behind the scenes. I separated my 2 pages. I don't like that. You're not going to see a picture of my nieces while you're like trying to look for your prom dress. I just
yeah. So that's a red flag?
I don't think it's a red flag. I think it might be fine. I just think it looks less professional than when you go on, let's say, J Lux label Instagram or TikTok or website, whatever. It's just all the brand stuff, or matte collection or anything. You're not going to see on like these bigger fashion website pages the people behind it.
Right. So is the Instagram not, is that a red flag that their Instagram isn't together? Because some brands are successful and don't have a popping Instagram at all.
What do you mean? Is it a red flag that they don't have an Instagram together? What do you mean?
Yeah. Is it a red flag that their Instagram they don't look professional? They post other things. They live their life on the Instagram. Does the Instagram have to be put together in
general?
Your social media platforms in 2023 as a fashion designer, as a business person in general, does your social media presence?
Man, I think your social media presence matters, but it depends on the type of designer you are. So I don't know. I don't know. I can't answer that question. How do you feel about it? Do you feel like it's unprofessional? Oh, okay. Yeah, I
can answer it.
I recently not found out, but like that this designer that I follow is a mother. I think that's good that I never knew her personal life.
Right.
Like she just randomly posted like in her story, it's like, oh, my daughter. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. I didn't know that this person, it's not for me to know. It's their personal life. But I like that. I don't know anything about her personal life. I'm just looking at the brand pieces, the collection and stuff like that. I don't feel like I need to know their personal life.
Think about the biggest entrepreneur in the world, the biggest person. Do you know anything about them? You just know that they own a business, right?
Like what, Jeff Bezos or somebody?
Do you know anything about him?
No, but also I don't know if they do interviews. You can know more about them if you listen to their interviews and stuff. Whatchamacallit?
Do you know the owner name of Microsoft?
I did at one point. Now I don't. But what I was going to say was there was one designer who I followed, and she would just always post like man hating stuff in her like stories, maybe on her page every once in a while, but mostly in her stories. But this was like her design page and her personal page was kind of blended together, but she still posted more designs than anything. But in her stories she would be more, I guess, free to be herself. But it was literally all man hating content. Oh, men are acting like this, men do this is horrible.
That is a red flag.
I felt like that was a red flag.
I
don't need to know that you hate men this bad. And it's unappealing. I mean, her designs weren't catered to men's wear, but still it was just like unappealing to me that everything was man bashing. And I think vice versa, anything that's like woman bashing too. That one designer.
Oh my God,
child, that one person.
I mean, this wouldn't, I don't think, I was about to say body shaming as a fashion designer.
Do people do that?
It happened like twice. We seen it happen twice.
We?
Yeah.
Me and you?
It happened on social media, and then it happened like in person with you at work.
Oh yeah.
She's a designer.
That was what? Yeah.
She's a designer.
Yeah. I gotta do a story time episode on that. That would kind of be funny. But yeah, I don't agree with body shaming anybody, especially your customers. But there was this one designer clip that was on TikTok, and she said the mannequin body is not included in the dress. And then like she repeated it like 3 times, like the dress don't come with the body. The dress don't come with the body. And I think she was trying to really say like it looked like a BBL on this mannequin dress, but on your body it's going to look different. So really consider how this is going to look on your shape. The body don't come with the dress. So I don't know if that's body shaming.
Was that a real flag?
I don't know if that's body shaming, but I think some people do order nowadays feeling like the dress is going to make their body look like that. So I probably wouldn't post it. I wouldn't post it using that audio.
Right.
Yeah. I would like my customers to believe the body does come with the dress. Oh, speaking of yes men designers, how do you feel about designers that tell their customers like, you know, yeah, this will look great on you, but maybe feeling like this is not going to come out right, or this might not look great on this person's body? Like a designer that doesn't give you style recommendations.
I think style recommendations is important because at the end of the process, you're going to have trouble. You should just avoid everything that's going to be like trouble in the end. Yeah. Because this person is 9 times out of 10 booking for a special event and they want to look really nice. So you got to cater to the fact that this is your fairy tale moment and I'm going to make your fairy tale come true. Yeah. You're going to look like what you envision. But if you say like something and it doesn't make sense in the fashion world, or like in like it's not realistic, like you have to be serious. Like you have to be truthful and honest. Yeah. For sure. And if you see like that a design on a person is not really looking like it's going to come out right on them, then I think you should say something too. Like I've seen things where it's just like, wow, this color combination or this print combination is not looking good together. I think we should go in a different route. Or I think we should just use this one that's what
print.
They're going for. Like sometimes people come with like crazy costume ideas, or they have like a show, dance recital or something, and that's the theme that they going for. But if it's like something special and they just trying to be risky and they just exploring, then no. Yeah. It gotta be like more so like costume.
Yeah. If you don't want to look costume, I think designers
gotta separate the two. Costume and
yeah, but I mean also like designers have to pay attention to style trends and what styles look good on what bodies. Like designers have to also kind of be stylists a little bit. Yeah. Like don't let your client walk out looking any type of way. And this particularly for custom designers. For fashion designers who are starting your brand or working with your brand for the first time with customers and stuff, I wonder, are there any other red flags that we didn't talk about for non-custom designers? Like, what is a red flag when working with a designer where you're just ordering from their website? Because you had an experience with a designer where I think you ordered from there 2 or 3 times, and each time the item
every time I ordered, it was
the wrong size or the wrong color.
But I think that was the business side. Like I don't think it was his manufactured clothes, so it wasn't his custom design process. It was just something he got manufactured, and he had a big bulk of it, and it was like shipping and handling, and so I don't think it was him. I think it was his management, his staff.
Okay, who can't read. Okay.
They probably forced like to push out, like if they like he offers fast shipping, so they probably forced to push out a certain amount in a certain amount of time.
Okay, but I think just all right. I think still like each package should have a shipping label, and on the label it would say like they ordered green L dress in size medium. It's not that hard. Put the green L dress in a size medium in the bag. Why you put the red L dress?
Do you think it's a red flag when designers do like random sales, but it'd be like outrageous sales?
I think they're going out of business. What do you mean? A red flag? No,
Like,
they need money.
I'm making a custom gown right now, but my price is usually $1,000, but I'm gonna give you a huge discount for $100.
I think maybe they're just trying to get rid of inventory. It might not even be a red flag. I just think they're trying to get rid of inventory, possibly, or do a quick money grab. But it's really not money because they, at that point, they might be operating at a loss, like selling it for less than what it's worth. But that's their business.
Well, losses come in businesses. So.
Yeah. Other than
I think we covered.
I think we covered a lot of red flags.
I know we'll figure out more in our design process.
Yeah, and if you have any designer red flags or any situations that happen to you, feel free to comment on this video clip on YouTube.
Oh, we forgot to talk about responding back.
If a designer doesn't respond back to you,
like you order, but they're not.
Oh, after you order,
but sometimes some customers are anxious and they do like harass you too much.
But no, the designer should at least respond once or twice.
Definitely be responsive.
But if they don't respond at all after you order, that's a red flag for sure.
Yeah.
If you message a designer 5-6 times after they already responded 2-3 times, you are the red flag.
Yeah.
As the customer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Other than that, though, I can't think of anything else.
Yeah, me neither.
All right, you guys. Thanks for listening and watching.
Make
sure you count your blessings
before you count your money.
Deuces.
Bye.